A federal judge in Rhode Island on Thursday ordered President Donald Trump's administration to fully fund food aid in November for 42 million low-income Americans by Friday. That blocks a plan to provide only reduced Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or SNAP benefits during the government shutdown. U.S. District Judge John McConnell accused the administration of withholding SNAP benefits for, quote, political reasons and ordered the Department of Agriculture to provide 100% of their benefits. McConnell warned that reduced funding would lead to hunger and strain food pantries. The Trump administration moved quickly to appeal, creating uncertainty over full payments by Friday. A USDA spokesperson in a statement blamed Senate Democrats for voting against a Republican-backed stopgap funding measure to end the government shutdown, now in its 37th day. The administration had originally planned to entirely suspend SNAP benefits in November, citing a lack of authorized funding from Congress as a result of the shutdown. McConnell previously ruled the USDA must use $5.25 billion in emergency funds or tap additional funding to partially cover SNAP, which costs $8.5 to $9 billion per month. The USDA opted to use only contingency funding, leaving $4.65 billion for benefits after administrative costs and prompting states to urge recipients to budget and visit food pantries. At the Bergen County and Community Food Bank of New Jersey on Thursday, cars stretched around Overpeck County Park. Federal workers and SNAP recipients hit hard by the ongoing government shutdown waited to receive emergency food boxes. Among them was Janelle Daniels, a Bergen County resident who recently learned her SNAP benefits were being paused.
I actually was involved in a pedestrian hit and run of last year on Christmas Eve. I haven't worked since then, unfortunately. I am currently recovering from a knee arthroscopic surgery in July. I just got reapproved for SNAP and EBT to turn around and to find out they wouldn't release it for, the rest of the year. So it's kind of upsetting.
Bergen County Commissioner Tracy Zohr said the shutdown's impact has been heartbreaking.
That's what keeps me up at night. That's what has been for the last 3 weeks, as this has been a political football, as we seem to be having inaction and this as targeting our most vulnerable. It's just devoid of humanity.
Zohr told Reuters some 43,000 Bergen County residents rely on SNAP. Community Food Bank of New Jersey President Elizabeth McCarthy said the demand had spiked.
The problem is this is not going to be sustainable if this shutdown goes on for very long. I mean, everything that we're spending right now is sort of over and above what we had budgeted for the year. And so it's just really important that, we sort of figure out a way to get people the help they need.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch,
Ooh,
pinch.
pinch time.
We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Don't call for pinches.
Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea?
We're in Ohio.
So is that close, or?
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
Wall Street's main indexes tumbled on Thursday, with the Dow dropping more than 0.8%, the S&P 500 shedding over 1%, and the Nasdaq losing nearly 2%. A resumption of Tuesday's tech sell-off weighed on the Nasdaq as investors worried about inflated AI-related stock prices. Michael Landsberg, Chief Investment Officer at Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management, said that while tech earnings were mostly strong, forward guidance from some AI darlings may have underwhelmed investors.
I think a lot of the tech earnings, basically, everyone's expecting a beat and a raise. So what you're seeing is you see the beats, But if they're not aggressively raising, I think that's where some of the stocks are getting kind of beaten up because valuations are so, priced to perfection, if you will. So I think you're seeing that.
The Philadelphia SE Semiconductor Index dropped nearly 2.5%, with NVIDIA and Qualcomm losing more than 3.5% and AMD plunging over 7%. Among other movers, shares of DoorDash slumped 17.5% after the delivery firm reported third-quarter profit below Wall Street expectations on rising expenses. Shares of e.l.f. Beauty plummeted 35% after the cosmetics maker forecast annual sales and profit below expectations. On the flip side, shares of Snap jumped more than 9.5% after the social media firm beat third-quarter revenue estimates and announced a partnership with software company Perplexity AI.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. On this Friday morning, we are looking at cloudy conditions, rain developing this afternoon, thunder possible, and highs today in the mid-50s. Rain showers this evening, overcast skies overnight with lows in the low 40s. Saturday, cloudy conditions with temperatures in the upper 40s. Sunday, rain, mid-40s. Monday morning, snow showers. Mid-30s. Tuesday, some morning snow showers with temperatures in the mid-30s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 7:13. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Hello, Friday. It's good to see you. Today's gonna be a good day. Thanks for starting your Friday with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill. Day. Thanks for starting your Friday with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill.
All right, happy Friday. Made it to the end of the week. After a pretty busy week, we had the election earlier, and we'll revisit some of those conversations later this morning. Also, we'll wrap things up with Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson. Thursday Night Football last night. You had the Broncos and the Raiders, and the winner there, the Broncos, coming out on top of a close competitive game, which is good to see. Steelers have a Sunday night football game, so look for that. We'll talk more about that coming up here this morning. We've got some headlines here to bring you, and do you recall me saying the other day something about the Farmer's Almanac? And it was a slight comment, because I didn't really mean it, but I'm surprised that publication's still around.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, guess what?
You cursed it.
Yeah, I did.
You are such a jerk.
Yeah, the Farmer's Almanac says the 2026 edition is its last.
Oh.
After 208 years.
That's not fair.
My bad. I am so sorry.
You are the worst.
I know. Do you think grocery stores are like, okay, now what are we going to put on the shelf? Because it's always there on the end cap, right?
Yeah.
Whatever's left of the publications.
Although I think that's hard. I know there's a lot of apps that you can download a book and, read the book. And no, I need that physical. And it's the same with a magazine. I need that physical thing in my hand, not an electronic.
And the jingle doesn't sound quite the same for Reading Rainbow anymore. Download the book, take a look. It's reading, before it was just take a look. It's in a book. See, it flows better. Download the book. It doesn't work.
It's not the same.
No.
Can't do it. Oh, look.
Not funny, but it's been interesting. Venango County voted for that library tax.
Yeah.
And it didn't go through.
Yeah.
And I have been reading some comments from people that are just outraged over it. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation, because we talked about this the other day, where I think in Crawford County, it's part of your county tax, right?
Right.
You're being taxed, and it goes to support your local libraries. But they don't do that in Venango. Venango is and I think all this came about. I think Oil City used to fund
X amount of dollars to the library, and then they had to cut that back or cut it entirely. I'm not sure. But I was talking to somebody who said, had the group that organized this campaign to promote this, if they just kind of were quiet about it, it probably would have gone over better than how they approached it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like they didn't do a good job with they made it just sound like it was going to be this major tax, and I don't know. But, yeah, that's our book talk here this morning.
All right.
But if you want to help out your libraries in Venango County, they're certainly going to be needing that. I assume they're going to be needing people stepping up and helping out there. But anyways, the Farmer's Almanac coming to an end here after the 2026 edition. It's a Maine-based publication, but not to be confused with the even older Old Farmer's Almanac. Oh, maybe this is what is confusing here. The Old Farmer's Almanac originates from New Hampshire. So this is going to confuse everybody, isn't it? The Farmer's Almanac. Just the Farmer's Almanac, not the Old Farmer's Almanac.
So the regular, wait.
Yeah, see? I don't know.
Okay.
There was a period where somebody dropped them off for us for free, or we got them because we were the media.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was the Old Farmer's Almanac. I don't know. That's your headline.
Well, like what I envision is if you're walking up to the cashier at your local store, there's usually a Farmer's, like a yellow
Is it Farmer's
cover.
Is that Farmer's or is that Old Farmer's?
Well, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just am envisioning the yellow cover.
If somebody is in the grocery store right now watching us,
can you please educate us?
Can you FaceTime us or something?
We have no idea what we're talking about here.
Could we get a live report from the grocery store that would have... We just need to know. By the way, the Old Farmer's Almanac, if you go to their website, their headline is The Old Farmer's Almanac, 233 years and still going strong.
Wow.
I don't know if they added that or if that's been there. So I'm sure people at the Old Farmer's Almanac are sitting there going, oh my gosh, we're getting all these phone calls. No, it's not us. It's the other ones. So that's going on.
Is this like, and again, you're not going to know, so I'm not going to ask.
Don't ask
Never
me.
mind.
Don't ask me.
I'm not
Why are you asking me these questions?
Why? Why do you have to be difficult? Sorry.
The Federal Aviation Administration's order to scale back flights nationwide because of the record-long government shutdown took effect early Friday morning. Some passengers trying to figure out backup travel plans. The 40 airports selected by the FAA span more than 24 states and include hubs such as Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Los Angeles, and Charlotte, North Carolina, according to the order. In some metropolitan areas, including New York, Houston, Chicago, and Washington, multiple airports will be impacted, while the ripple effects could reach smaller airports as well. In fact, I have a client who had to go to Florida this week. Was supposed to fly back yesterday. And he kept, on his way to the airport, he stopped off for lunch, but he kept getting notifications on his phone that his flight was delayed. Delayed again, and delayed. And then he finally just said, I'm going to just fly out Friday. So he changed it. But
you hope.
He wasn't sure if it was because of this or because of weather.
Oh, okay.
So, or maybe it's a combination. But as these flights are obviously changing, that is going to impact other things. So there is a ripple effect there. The FAA said reductions would start at 4% and ramp up to about 10% by November 14th. They are to be in effect between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. and impact all commercial airlines. So let's see. What else is going on? You glad it's Friday?
Sure.
It's been a long week.
It has. It has.
I feel like with our election night coverage, Wednesday was exhausting, and yesterday it was like, okay, a little bit better. Maybe got a little bit of sleep Got a little bit of sleep last night, but still, like, just it's been harder to catch up for some reason this week.
Yeah.
But playoff sports continue, and wish all the teams still competing all the best. You have winter sports right around the corner.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There is a federal holiday sprinkled in next week. Don't forget.
Yeah,
that.
on Tuesday, Veterans Day. So
which is awesome.
You're gonna you got the weekend, Monday, and then federal holiday Tuesday, and then off and running again Wednesday. Any word? I'm trying to look this up real quick. It's been kind of interesting to see. Everybody's been talking about snow around these parts. First of the week. It's going to be cold. There is snow in the forecast, but it's been interesting to see what we're getting or how much they're predicting. Some models are showing several inches. Have you seen this, or are people talking about this? Again, I don't know.
People are just saying, like, the S word is in the forecast, so they're panicking. But we live in northwestern Pennsylvania, so...
Yeah. Well, it's just weird. You look at, even when I read the forecast...
We can have 4 seasons in a day.
We can. But, yeah, it's okay, morning snow showers. Okay, that doesn't sound like much, but what are the specific details? And that's what I'm trying to find out here. You know, what are the Erie guys saying? And because you're hearing, I've heard it could be multiple inches. Some places maybe more, but I don't want to scare anybody. Let's just see what happens, and I'll do some information here during the 7:30 news break. Okay.
I don't want to scare anybody.
Yeah, and then for our forecast, we can talk about it. We've got birthdays and what we're celebrating, not just today, but through the weekend. That's exciting,
I know.
right? Today's
the day.
Let's say the 7th day of I was going to say
October.
November. Do you want to get to birthdays?
Sure.
And all that right now. Okay.
Are you ready?
No, but
Okay.
we can go. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Actor Christopher Knight is 68. Rocker
Christopher Knight.
Yes.
What's he? That name sounds familiar.
Brady Bunch.
Oh, okay.
Rocker Tommy Thayer is 66.
I did not watch the Brady Bunch very often, or hardly at all. Did you?
No. Actor Adam Devine, you know who he is. 42. You know who he is, Luke. And singer Lorde is 29 today.
All right. Happy birthday to them. Happy birthday to you. If today happens to be your birthday from all of us here today, we're going to turn our attention to what it is we're celebrating on this 7th day of November.
All right. Today we celebrate Fountain Pen Day, Hug a Bear Day, Love Your Lawyer Day, National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds Day, National Cancer Awareness Day, National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day, National Jersey Day, National Programmatic Advertising Day, National Retinol Day, Notary Public Day, National Book Awards Day. That's today.
Okay.
And then on Saturday we celebrate Abbott and Aid Punsters Day, Cook Something Bold and Pungent Day, International Day of Radiology, National Cappuccino Day, National Dunce Day, National Harvey Wallbanger Day, National Leon Day, National Parents as Teachers Day, National Saddle Hunting Day, National STEM Day, National Talk Money Day, World Pianist Day, World Radiography Day, World
Pianist?
Pianist. Piano.
Okay.
Why? Did I say it wrong? Are you going to make
That's
fun of
not
me?
how I heard it, but go ahead.
Pianist, like piano. World Radiography Day, World Town Planning Day, New York City Kidney Walk. And we celebrate Gordon Ramsay's birthday.
Ah.
And
That's tomorrow?
That's tomorrow.
So I should make his eggs.
Yes. Oh, that would be amazing. All right. And then on Sunday, it's Brian Holland Legacy Day, British Pudding Day, Carl Sagan Day, Chaos Never Dies Day, Day of Mourning, 1109 Day, Geriatric Tooth Fairy Day, Go to an art museum day, International Tongue Twister Day, Microtia Awareness Day, National Louisiana Day, National Scrapple Day, Orphan Sunday, Remembrance Sunday, World Freedom Day, Dear Santa Letter Week, Human-Animal Relationship Awareness Week, International Fraud Awareness Week, National Split Pea Soup Week, Nurse Practitioner Week, and then we have, I'm looking to see if there's any birthdays that of anybody I've ever heard. Nick Lachey. Lachey. I screwed that up. Yep, sorry. That's it. That's all I got. It's the only person I recognize on there.
All right. There you go.
I think it's his wife, Vanessa's too. I don't know who she is, but there you go.
Or her last name.
Or how to say her name.
Lachey.
It's tongue twister.
According to the FAA, Foundation for Traffic Safety, nearly 46% of crashes involving bad weather occur during the colder months. Snowstorms, icy roads, poor conditions contribute to almost 500,000 crashes and over 2,000 fatalities annually. From November through March, motorists also face increased risks of dead batteries, flat tires, and vehicle extractions. With winter weather looming, AAA East Central advises drivers to take proactive steps to stay safe. Preventative steps today can go a long way tomorrow, according to AAA. Conditions like black ice and heavy snow make driving hazardous this time of year. So, again, just be prepared for some snow the beginning of the week, and I'm still doing research into what they're saying or what they're predicting. So, but I think you brought this up earlier in the week about sometimes it feels like right now people are kind of figuring out.
They get nervous, you know. And, it's coming. What if it does? What if it doesn't? But again, there's also like, sometimes we get 4 seasons in one day. We wake up, there's snow. Progressively, we,
Yep.
hit the rest of the seasons. There's sunshine somewhere along the way.
All right, coming up on 7:30 here this morning, we'll bring you the latest headlines, see what's going on in the world of business. We'll have your forecast. It's all coming up here this morning. This is The Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Happy Friday.
A federal judge in Rhode Island on Thursday ordered President Donald Trump's administration to fully fund food aid in November for 42 million low-income Americans by Friday. That blocks a plan to provide only reduced Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, benefits during the government shutdown. U.S. District Judge John McConnell accused the administration of withholding SNAP benefits for, quote, political reasons, and ordered the Department of Agriculture to provide 100% of their benefits. McConnell warned that reduced funding would lead to hunger and strain food pantries. The Trump administration moved quickly to appeal, creating uncertainty over full payments by Friday. A USDA spokesperson in a statement blamed Senate Democrats for voting against a Republican-backed stopgap funding measure to end the government shutdown, now in its 37th day. The administration had originally planned to entirely suspend SNAP benefits in November, citing a lack of authorized funding from Congress as a result of the shutdown. McConnell previously ruled the USDA must use $5.25 billion in emergency funds or tap additional funding to partially cover SNAP, which costs $8.5 to $9 billion per month. The USDA opted to use only contingency funding, leaving $4.65 billion for benefits after administrative costs and prompting states to urge recipients to budget and visit food pantries. At the Bergen County and Community Food Bank of New Jersey on Thursday, cars stretched around Overpeck County Park. Federal workers and SNAP recipients hit hard by the ongoing government shutdown waited to receive emergency food boxes. Among them was Janelle Daniels, a Bergen County resident who recently learned her SNAP benefits were being paused.
I actually was involved in a pedestrian hit and run of last year on Christmas Eve. I haven't worked since then, unfortunately. I am currently recovering from a knee arthroscopic surgery in July. I just got reapproved for SNAP and EBT to turn around and to find out they wouldn't release it for, the rest of the year. So it's kind of upsetting.
Bergen County Commissioner Tracy Zohr said the shutdown's impact has been heartbreaking.
That's what keeps me up at night. That's what has been for the last 3 weeks, as this has been a political football, as we seem to be having inaction and this as targeting our most vulnerable. It's just devoid of humanity.
Zohr told Reuters some 43,000 Bergen County residents rely on SNAP. Community Food Bank of New Jersey President Elizabeth McCarthy said the demand had spiked.
The problem is this is not going to be sustainable if this shutdown goes on for very long. I mean, everything that we're spending right now is sort of over and above what we had budgeted for the year. And so it's just really important that, we sort of figure out a way to get people the help they need.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place, and now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
I needed a place I could feel cared for without the long drive. I chose Meadville OBGYN because both my sisters came here, highly recommended Dr. Kristen. Dr. Kristen makes me feel very comfortable, like I'm family, like we're friends, very personable. My daughter Evie was born in Breach, and it was Dr. Kristen and Dr. Barco, and they were incredible. It was a wonderful experience. I wouldn't ever want to go anywhere else.
Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
You have strong roots in the community. You may have grown a career, raised a family, and built friendships. Now you're ready to give back to the place that has supported you. But how? A charitable giving fund at your local community foundation provides an opportunity to grow your giving, invest in causes you care about, and focus on the joy of making a difference. Opening a charitable giving fund is easy. Give gifts that work best for you. Invest your charitable dollars in one of our portfolios or through your trusted financial advisor and watch your giving grow. In recognition of your generosity, you may even be able to prune your tax bill through charitable tax deductions and state tax credits. The Community Foundation tends to the administrative details while you focus on making a difference. Simply make grants from your fund to organizations big and small, near and far, and watch them bloom. As you consider community needs and opportunities, our staff acts as pollinators throughout the community and always knows the buzz. We can work alongside you to inspire future generations of givers and leave a lasting impact. Your giving is our mission. Together, we can meet the needs of today and plan for the opportunities of tomorrow. We are better together.
Wall Street's main indexes tumbled on Thursday, with the Dow dropping more than 0.8%, the S&P 500 shedding over 1%, and the Nasdaq losing nearly 2%. A resumption of Tuesday's tech sell-off weighed on the Nasdaq as investors worried about inflated AI-related stock prices. Michael Landsberg, Chief Investment Officer at Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management, said that while tech earnings were mostly strong, forward guidance from some AI darlings may have underwhelmed investors.
I think a lot of the tech earnings, basically, everyone's expecting a beat and a raise. So what you're seeing is you see the beats, but if they're not aggressively raising, I think that's where some of the stocks are getting kind of beaten up because valuations are so, priced to perfection, if you will. So I think you're seeing that.
The Philadelphia SE Semiconductor Index dropped nearly 2.5%, with NVIDIA and Qualcomm losing more than 3.5% and AMD plunging over 7%. Among other movers, shares of DoorDash slumped 17.5% after the delivery firm reported third-quarter profit below Wall Street expectations on rising expenses. Shares of e.l.f. Beauty plummeted 35% after the cosmetics maker forecast annual sales and profit below expectations. On the flip side, shares of Snap jumped more than 9.5% after the social media firm beat third-quarter revenue estimates and announced a partnership with software company Perplexity AI.
No surprise from the Bank of England, but when is more easing in sight? The Bank of England has kept rates on hold ahead of a budget that's expected to raise taxes across the board. Rachel Reeves paved the way in a speech earlier this week, saying she faces hard choices to protect public spending while also reducing Britain's debt. She made it very clear she wanted to see the central bank cut as soon as possible. So when is she going to get that reduction? Chris Beecham is chief market analyst at IG. Chris, no surprises then, but with inflation steady and the job market looking increasingly weak, wasn't there a case to cut?
There was, but perhaps not as strong this time. I think if you look at the inflation data, obviously it's moving in the right direction, and the committee minutes really confirm that. But I think maybe it was a case of you don't want to base too much off one inflation print. Now, between now and December, when the BOE next meets, we get two more. So I think they'll be on more secure ground when it comes to cutting. Now, of course, the vote was supposed to be expected to be 6-3, and it was actually 5-4. So in a sense, it really is more of a dovish tilt than we perhaps were expecting. It just wasn't the cut that, as you say, the Chancellor perhaps would have liked to see this time around.
As you say, almost a 50-50 split there, so they're not quite on the same page as each other then about the strength of the UK economy.
No, there's still a couple that think there is still the possibility of a surge in inflation, but I think you can clearly see, and arguably Andrew Bailey was in the camp to hold, but probably is tilting quite quickly into the other side of the line on that, really. But it does look like that this is all about inflation, and it does look like really the committee thinks that prices will continue to weaken from here. I suppose the problem for them is that a good weakening of prices just because the natural elements are receding, or a bad weakening in that demand is beginning to dry up? And that's what's going to trouble them over the next 6 weeks or so before they meet again, and what they'll look for in not just the CPI figures, but all the other data we get between now and then too.
Do you think Rachel Reeves' explicit call for a cut just 2 days ago made it less likely? Are policymakers worried about being seen as too political?
Well, it is that way. I think we had this debate, of course, around Trump and the Fed back in August. Clearly, the UK's policymakers aren't as biddable as their American counterparts. Perhaps it's unfair on Jerome Powell and his team, but certainly, or perhaps Rachel Reeves isn't as strident as the President of the United States, which is definitely true. But I think it was just a case that really the line wasn't there enough to move this time around. And perhaps, of course, the BOE is as in the dark as we are as what comes to the budget, perhaps as much as the Treasury team themselves at the moment. So moving too soon might just, again, you still want to preserve this element of independence, I think. And while no one would suggest that the BOE is under number 11's thumb, it's always good to maintain that sort of clear blue water, if you like, for the benefit of global bond markets.
Ahead of the budget, UK gilts have seen a big drop in yields in the last month, but investors clearly still want to see Rachel Reeves give herself more fiscal headroom. What do they want from the budget?
Well, I think they would like to see spending cuts as well as the tax rises that everyone really knows are coming. I think they may not get as much, but there appears to be a sense that, okay, we we can't get the spending cuts because the political weather doesn't allow for it at the moment. But as long as you give yourself headroom and you use that headroom sensibly for things like investment to try and boost the economy over the longer term, we're happy with that for the time being. That would be the message, I think, from bond markets, really. But it is still a case of, but don't step too far out of line because the situation remains precarious for the UK financial situation.
Have they then fully priced in a rise in income tax across the board? Will markets punish her if steep tax rises are not delivered then?
To an extent, yes. I think having really cleared the way for it in a slightly odd speech earlier in the week, it would be remarkable if she then did the unexpected and didn't raise taxes on income. And of course, taxes on income, even for middle earners, are, though uncomfortable to say, at the lowest level in about 50 years. So there is room on a historical basis. It will be politically unpopular, but I suppose the gamble they're taking is that they can then do more with that money to try and restore their popularity once we get closer to the next election.
That was Chris Beecham of IG. Don't forget, you can watch more videos on Reuters.com.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk wants shareholder approval on Thursday for the largest corporate pay package in history. That was after investors endorsed his plan of morphing the EV maker into an AI and robotics juggernaut. The vote was crucial for Tesla's future and its valuation, which hangs on Musk's vision, even though his far-right political rhetoric has hurt the Tesla brand this year. Musk, already the world's richest person, could get as much as $1 trillion in stock over the next decade, netting $878 billion after required payments. Musk bounded to the stage of the company's annual meeting in Austin, Texas, accompanied by dancing robots.
Those bots are just dancing.
Goals for Musk over the next decade include the company delivering 20 million vehicles, having 1 million robotaxis in operation, selling 1 million robots, and earning as much as $400 billion in core profit.
As far as I can see, the only option is to go build some very big chip fab.
But for him to get paid, Tesla's stock value has to rise in tandem. First to $2 trillion from the current $1.5 trillion and all the way to $8.5 trillion, achieving each step, which includes an operational goal and a valuation milestone, awards Musk 1% of stock. If Musk hits all of them, he would be eligible for 12% in stock, or about $1 trillion. Some major investors had opposed the plan, saying the pay could decrease shareholder value. Tesla's board had said Musk could quit if the pay package was not approved. The vote allays investor concerns that Musk's focus would turn to running his other companies, including rocket maker SpaceX and xAI. Musk has said he was more interested in the higher voting stake he would get in Tesla as part of the pay package rather than the money. That's as he gears up to sell a, quote, robot army.
Things were looking up for cattle rancher Neil Yelderman until Trump announced his plan to import more Argentine beef.
Us poor cattle ranchers out here struggled many years and finally having a really good year. And so the news from Argentina, no, it's not the greatest news in the world.
The 59-year-old in Southeast Texas says ranchers like himself are finally seeing profits after years of drought, which meant expensive feed and limited grazing areas. But at grocery stores, Americans are facing record-high beef prices, and Trump is planning to quadruple low-tariff imports of beef from Argentina in an effort to lower those prices.
Me, myself, pretty fortunate. We own our own land. We don't have our cattle mortgaged at the bank, but a lot of my neighbors do. They're on lease land, and they have big mortgages, on their cattle, and they will not survive.
Argentine beef represented only 2% of total imports in 2024, according to government data. And Texas A&M University livestock economist David Anderson says importing more beef from the country likely won't save American consumers money.
The majority of the beef we import are lean beef trimmings to go into ground beef and hamburger. Whether it's ground beef at your grocery store or at restaurants, it's hard to see a little bit more from Argentina really doing much for a hamburger at your favorite hamburger joint.
Tight cattle supplies and strong consumer demand have influenced the spike in U.S. beef prices. Anderson says the current U.S. cattle inventory is its lowest since 1951. And Yelderman warns that more years of financial strain for American ranchers could mean even fewer cattle.
It turns into what do? I've got bills to pay, and where I thought I could sell just my calves to pay the bills, now I have to sell, start getting into my herd, start selling some of my mama cows and bulls to make my note at the bank.
From Elon Musk's massive payday to Nintendo's Switch 2 power-up, this is The Week in Numbers. $1 trillion is how much Tesla CEO Elon Musk could get in the carmaker's stock over the next decade, although required payments would take the value down to $878 billion. It comes after he won shareholder approval for the largest corporate pay package in history. A majority of investors endorsed his vision to adapt the EV maker into an AI and robotics heavyweight. Tesla's board had warned Musk could leave if the compensation plan didn't go through. $38 billion is the value of a deal signed between OpenAI and Amazon. The 7-year agreement allows the ChatGPT maker to buy cloud services from Amazon. It marked OpenAI's first big push to power its AI ambitions after a recent restructure gave it more operational and financial freedom. It also gives the firm access to hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA graphics processors to train and run its AI models. 10% was how many flights US transport authorities ordered cut at 40 major airports. Although the plan was later changed to 4% of domestic flights before ramping up to a full 10% cut by November 14th. The call was made while the longest government shutdown in US history drags on. It's forced 13,000 air traffic controllers and 50,000 transport security agents to work without pay, causing staff shortages and flight delays. $342 million was the operating profit Nissan drove to during the most recent quarter. It was the Japanese automaker's best quarterly result in more than a year and easily beat forecasts. The profit was largely thanks to Nissan's efforts to lower fixed costs under a turnaround plan and stronger sales in North America. And 90 million is how many Switch 2 consoles Nintendo now expects to sell for the financial year. It's higher than the Japanese gaming giant first thought it would be. Customers have been drawn to titles like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Nintendo also raised its full-year operating profit forecast by 16% to $2.45 billion.
All right, cloudy skies, periods of rain this afternoon, thunder possible, highs today in the mid-50s. Showers early tonight, cloudy overnight with lows in the low 40s. Saturday, cloudy, upper 40s. Sunday, showers, mid-40s. Monday, some morning snow showers with temperatures in the mid-30s. And Tuesday, morning snow showers with temperatures in the mid-30s. Monday, it looks like snow accumulations less than an inch. However, Monday night into Tuesday could be 1 to 3 inches of snow. So we'll be keeping an eye out on that forecast. 7:53 is our time. This is the morning drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Thanks for being with us here on a Friday morning. Great local programming will be continuing next hour on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Our third hour will continue on our website, Facebook, and YouTube platforms, including you can find it on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on YouTube as well. So, all right. I want to thank Tim Snyder for stopping in this morning. He brought you a gift.
He did. For Pianist Day.
On Saturday.
On Saturday. Mm-hmm.
That's very nice.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to play that all day Saturday.
See, it doesn't matter the size of that. It's how you play it there. Look at that. Play it as something again. There you go. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
For stopping in this morning. Really appreciate that.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
I'm going to get you all excited here.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, now it's not going to want to come. Boy, this thing's. I'd have to revamp this laptop here. So we love showing live shots from various places, right? Well, that's funny. I don't know where I have it. I have. You brought up something about British Pudding Day coming up.
Yeah.
I was researching some British pudding. It looks really. I think I'm just hungry this morning.
Okay.
It looks really good. I think I lost it. Let me see here. I was going to get you this because this looks really awesome. All right, we're going to hold off for 1 second so I can pull this up. This live shot of one of our favorite places, the Temple Bar.
Oh yeah.
In Dublin.
Are they ready for the season?
They are.
Oh yeah.
They are ready for the season, and okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here it is. This is the Temple Bar in Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, so gorgeous.
Yeah. I got yelled at because somebody walked through and maybe heard a Christmas song or something in here the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody's on board on the train, so the train's moving. You either can
Get
stay
on
behind or
Yeah.
start taking it all and
Get on the train or walk
Yep.
the track.
That's the Temple Bar in Dublin, Ireland. It is 55 degrees and it looks like rain right now. So,
But they're ready.
but they're ready. Isn't that gorgeous, though?
It is gorgeous.
Oh, very nice.
Me and my tiny piano will go.
I saw the Macy's in New York City
Are they getting
this past weekend started decorating.
We talk about this because it's like this would probably be the best time for us to
sneak
start
out.
putting our. But put our lights.
I thought you meant go to New York City.
Yeah, no, I'd love to go to New York City to put our lights up, but it's like we have something every day, so it's not going to happen. I love when it's like, oh, this is our downtime. It's not our downtime.
Actually, well, that's a really good point.
What?
The outside stuff
is what we need to do.
Yeah,
like
I was
now.
just. Oh man, it's going to be 40s for the next 10 plus days. Today 50. It's going to rain later. See, today would have been like if it was going to be nice, I would be like, maybe I could talk to the boss and take the afternoon off and
You can do whatever you want.
But it's going to rain
Oh.
So I don't know if we get much done. And we have a kid that's not at school today, right? They don't have school
Right.
because of parent-teacher conferences. Yeah, well, be working out in the cold, getting the Christmas stuff out, but that's all right. Again, maybe a little bit of snow first of the week, so be prepared for that. All right. Any other news headlines you want to bring up before we wrap things up here on the TV side this morning?
We don't have time. No, I'm kidding. It's Friday. We'll be good.
So you're just kind of.
Yep.
It'll be a long day.
It's going to be a long day. I'm not saying that, like, I guess in a bad way, but it is my longest day. So, but it'll be a good day.
That's right. It will be. It'll be a good day.
What is that from?
That jingle. Our Friday song.
Oh.
This is me today. Just going to be punchy.
This is amazing.
Yeah. We're looking forward. We're going to be doing a Powder Puff football game tomorrow. So
it'll be awesome.
Looking forward to that. We're letting we always let the students take over and announce and be part of it. And looking forward to having some fun tomorrow morning. So
yeah.
Or afternoon. I think it's afternoon. But yeah, could be great. Hey, real quick, we've got the Broncos beating the Raiders last night to kick things off for the weekend of football. We got college football. We've got Mr. Sports Bruce Peterson joining us next hour, so we'll catch up with him. Election night highlights will continue after the 8 o'clock news here this morning, so A lot to get to. And if you're looking for something fun to watch a little bit later, PCN's going to be, I think, late morning, early afternoon, running more of the Energy Summit from a month ago. So,
okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Looking forward to it. All right. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the weekend. Our third hour continues on our online platforms. Great local programming continues throughout the day on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Hey, want me? Hey, just to see. Maybe we're so good to roll. You take a star, met a key. To stand the start, come to the night. There's not the balls and just.
A federal judge in Rhode Island on Thursday ordered President Donald Trump's administration to fully fund food aid in November for 42 million low-income Americans by Friday. That blocks a plan to provide only reduced Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, benefits during the government shutdown. U.S. District Judge John McConnell accused the administration of withholding SNAP benefits for, quote, political reasons, and ordered the Department of Agriculture to provide 100% of their benefits. McConnell warned that reduced funding would lead to hunger and strain food pantries. The Trump administration moved quickly to appeal, creating uncertainty over full payments by Friday. A USDA spokesperson in a statement blamed Senate Democrats for voting against a Republican-backed stopgap funding measure to end the government shutdown, now in its 37th day. The administration had originally planned to entirely suspend SNAP benefits in November, citing a lack of authorized funding from Congress as a result of the shutdown. McConnell previously ruled the USDA must use $5.25 billion in emergency funds or tap additional funding to partially cover SNAP, which costs $8.5 to $9 billion per month. The USDA opted to use only contingency funding, leaving $4.65 billion for benefits after administrative costs and prompting states to urge recipients to budget and visit food pantries. At the Bergen County and Community Food Bank of New Jersey on Thursday, cars stretched around Overpeck County Park. Federal workers and SNAP recipients hit hard by the ongoing government shutdown waited to receive emergency food boxes. Among them was Janelle Daniels, a Bergen County resident who recently learned her SNAP benefits were being paused.
I actually was involved in a pedestrian hit and run of last year on Christmas Eve. I haven't worked since then, unfortunately. I am currently recovering from a knee arthroscopic surgery in July. I just got reapproved for SNAP and EBT to turn around and to find out they wouldn't release it for, the rest of the year. So it's kind of upsetting.
Bergen County Commissioner Tracy Zuhr said the shutdown's impact has been heartbreaking.
That's what keeps me up at night. That's what has been for the last 3 weeks, as this has been a political football, as we seem to be having inaction and this as targeting our most vulnerable. It's just devoid of humanity.
Zuhr told Reuters some 43,000 Bergen County residents rely on SNAP. Community Food Bank of New Jersey President Elizabeth McCarthy said the demand had spiked.
The problem is this is not going to be sustainable if this shutdown goes on for very long. I mean, everything that we're spending right now is sort of over and above what we had budgeted for the year. And so it's just really important that, we sort of figure out a way to get people the help they need.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville. Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733. For over 30 years, J. Gill Plumbing and Heating has taken pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. Our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. And with the J. Gill Service membership, you can take advantage of additional benefits like filter replacements and priority service scheduling. Plus, members get 10% off future projects. Call today to get a free estimate or ask about financing options. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online at jgillplumbingheating.com. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
211 is a simple telephone number to remember when you don't know where to go for help. Dial 211 when needing to find health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. It's free and confidential, and you'll have access to thousands of programs and services for emergency and non-emergency situations. Visit pa211nw.org to learn more, and remember, help is available by calling 211.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Wall Street's main indexes tumbled on Thursday, with the Dow dropping more than 0.8%, the S&P 500 shedding over 1%, and the Nasdaq losing nearly 2%. A resumption of Tuesday's tech sell-off weighed on the Nasdaq as investors worried about inflated AI-related stock prices. Michael Landsberg, Chief Investment Officer at Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management, said that while tech earnings were mostly strong, forward guidance from some AI darlings may have underwhelmed investors.
I think a lot of the tech earnings, basically, everyone's expecting a beat and a raise. So what you're seeing is you see the beats, but if they're not aggressively raising, I think that's where some of the stocks are getting kind of beaten up because valuations are so, priced to perfection, if you will. So I think you're seeing that.
The Philadelphia SE Semiconductor Index dropped nearly 2.5%, with NVIDIA and Qualcomm losing more than 3.5% and AMD plunging over 7%. Among other movers, shares of DoorDash slumped 17.5% after the delivery firm reported third-quarter profit below Wall Street expectations on rising expenses. Shares of e.l.f. Beauty plummeted 35% after the cosmetics maker forecast annual sales and profit below expectations. On the flip side, shares of Snap jumped more than 9.5% after the social media firm beat third-quarter revenue estimates and announced a partnership with software company Perplexity AI. Shares of McDonald's rose Wednesday after the fast food giant beat third-quarter global sales estimates thanks to affordable meal offers that lured budget-conscious consumers. McDonald's has kept its $5 meal deal in place for more than a year, prioritized menu innovation, and intensified marketing efforts to revive demand. Executives at the fast food chain pointed to high prices of essentials such as rent, food, and childcare as weighing on low-income consumers. To counter those pressures, McDonald's in September reintroduced its extra value meals and began working with franchisees to standardize a 15% discount on combo meals nationwide, up from the current 10 to 11%. Comparable sales in the U.S., McDonald's largest market, rose nearly 2.5% in the third quarter, compared with a 0.3% rise a year earlier. The company expects early momentum from another promotion, one tied to the iconic Monopoly game, to further accelerate U.S. sales growth in the fourth quarter.
And welcome back to our live election coverage here, live from the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation. I want to thank Christian Marr for lending us his offices once again. We're in a different location this time. It's been a busy building
It is
tonight.
a busy building. There's a lot going on in here.
Yeah, which is good.
It is. It's our former location down below on the first floor, a little more spacious, but it's got a venue in there this evening. So this is actually more intimate.
Yeah.
And you like it intimate. So it's a little tighter, but it's a nice space, and we appreciate that Christian and the Heritage Foundation can make this available.
Yeah, and by the way, we're coming up towards the end of the year, so don't wait till the last minute if you want to make that tax-deductible donation. Talk to Christian, set up a meeting, and they do great things. How about Crawford Gives this year? Over $1 million. $1
million. How about that?
Incredible.
In this little community, and when I say that, I mean this is. Crawford's not a growing place, by and large. I mean, it's hanging in there, but I mean,
but it's a
that's
very
a phenomenal amount.
Yeah, but it is a very giving, caring county. So yeah, congratulations, and that's a lot of hard work, Christian and his crew. So good job, very good job. And again, you can contact Crawford Heritage Community Foundation if you'd like to just set up an appointment and. Again, they do a lot of great things. So,
oh, they do, and it's countywide, by the way. So, anything you can donate it'll pay back your community in spades. We had, as we do these kinds of things, set up work, and we had Mr. Scott Pressler earmarked for this time. If you don't know, he is in demand. Last I saw, he was in New Jersey this morning. But we were trying to get a perspective, and maybe we can talk about this, Luke. Trying to get a perspective on statewide initiatives. I don't mean necessarily, to either retain or non-retain the judiciary, but I mean in terms of what's happening on the ground. And I'd like to address that a little bit. And maybe Brad can chime in if he's still here, but things have changed even in the last 20 years for sure. I mean, electronically, you've got the digital marketplace. You see that the difference it makes in things like Insta and these different things, even in the last presidential campaign. And what motivates people is changed. I think that it's put us farther into two camps. You know, the great middle where I grew up or you grew up, or the majority of the listeners that are boomers, would probably consider themselves somewhere in the middle. And depending on who you listen to and what you listen to specifically, it sort of informs where you're at. This is not revolutionary. We all sort of see it or feel it on some visceral level. And I was hoping we could get somebody of Scott's stature to come in and just talk about what he's doing and the difference he sees in places like Pennsylvania with all his varied efforts here, there, everywhere, including Crawford, as well as New Jersey and some of the activist kinds of things and what his peers are on the other side. And I just want to address that a little bit because we don't think those things inform us here, but they do. And even when I ran, some of the stuff that was going on in social media was insane. And we used to call it, it's the you suck moment. but writ large on social media, that happens over and over and over. And it is indeed a tough, tough business. So my hat's off to anybody that's running for, it takes a level of bravery just to do that, just to put yourself out there, and family understanding. I just want to get your thoughts as well on that. Like, what do you see? You're in the digital media. That's your space. Like, what do you see? Can you amplify what I'm trying to get at here?
Yeah, and you can take it from a lot of perspectives. From a candidate's perspective, you can take it from somebody who runs and is part of a rec soccer league, and listening to sometimes parents or coaches attack people on social media. You see it at high school and youth sporting events. I think there was an incident in Meadville last fall where a parent tackled an official after the game.
Was that basketball, right?
No, that was football, but there was an incident with basketball as well. It's amped up, I think, across the board. Politics, obviously, dividing a lot of people. And as we talk about this, let me pull this up. This was a Politico post yesterday about violence in politics, and this is really kind of scary. How about this? 33% of young Americans think political violence is justified. Okay, now this is from Politico yesterday. America is bracing for political violence, and a significant portion thinks it's sometimes okay. And a majority of Americans think it's likely a political candidate will be assassinated in the next 5 years.
No, I think we've had 2 attempts in the last year, right? Year and then some. But yeah, I mean, so this is what I'm trying to drive at, and I'm glad you guys could stick around. It's certainly changed, and you've been in it, what, this is your 16th? 19th. Okay, I had the 9 and the 6 flipped around. So you've been in it for 20 years, but all said and done. What do you see, Brad, at the state level with your peers even, and in terms of what's your user experience in being in the arena in terms of the camps?
Even when the cameras are off, is it still pretty divided?
Well, believe it or not, almost all of us get along really well with each other, and there's a little room behind the House chamber where there's coffee and bottled water, and if you're lucky, you get back there when there's still little bags of chips before they all get eaten. No, but everybody, they talk back there and kind of hang out a little bit during boring floor speeches, and people say hi to each other in elevators and in the hallways, and it's actually pretty cordial. Now, out on the actual floor of the House, what I've seen, the Democratic caucus has grown more liberal since I got there, and the Republican caucus has grown more conservative. And now, as far as what you were talking about earlier, I haven't really seen that I can think of right now, like any hatred or anything. I mean, people, if we were both in the state house, we would probably vote differently on some things, but I wouldn't say I hope he dies, and he wouldn't say he hopes me die. But it's just appalling that there's people on both sides talking like that. And the people that think political violence is okay, that should be at 0%. I mean, there shouldn't be a single person on earth that thinks that's okay. And it's alarming that the numbers are as high as they are.
What do you think informs that? And let me ask you this. You've got a unique perch, like nobody in this room. Do you think that's a national phenomenon? I mean, obviously I remember a famous fist fight in a township here about 25 years ago, right in the rear parking lot. But I mean, that's a real anomaly.
I don't. What township was that? I don't.
Rockdale? Was that Rockdale?
It could have been. I mean, I don't. That's pretty funny, actually.
So,
I mean, there's a difference between two guys. Guys get into fights. That happens. But that's a lot different than posting on Facebook that you hope somebody dies, or saying it's okay to kill somebody.
But I think this all goes back to, not to cut you off, you can come back to this, but the whole social media thing, I think that's where you can really, because you don't know where things are coming from. And you can really start putting things out there to intentionally divide people. It's amazing how many times people will share something that isn't real.
Yep.
Because it just fits their narrative. Instead of thinking, well, maybe that isn't right, I should fact check that. It's just easier to see it and go, yeah, that's funny, I agree with that, share.
Yep.
And then it just keeps spreading.
Yep, I've been guilty of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we probably all have on one or two occasions at least, but yeah.
But what's really funny is when somebody repeats it to you, you're sitting in the car with them and like, hey, did you hear this? And like, I did, and that's not real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and to have those conversations as a person who is younger and has grown up with social media and technology, explaining it to my grandparents or aunts and uncles that are older, it's difficult because they want to reinforce what they already believe. And with artificial intelligence now, there are so many things that can look realistic that are, certainly fake.
Yeah.
And whether it's Chinese or Russian, we certainly see people that post online things because they're divisive and they get them out there and they know that in the American political sphere, it's ripe for division. So.
Yeah, and do these companies care if they're getting money for,
Good question.
To pay to promote these posts?
And I think it's particularly compelling in the public policy sphere, the political sphere, if you will, because it's even in Crawford County. There's been some, and there's some wild things said about candidates and so forth and so on. Sheriff's race of a couple years ago comes to mind. That was just, it was wild. It was a wild time. So, you take the guts or whatever, the bravery to go in and say, hey, I'm going to go run for city council, and you've got all things are local, all things being the same, people you've known for years just cutting you to pieces in a very vocal way that didn't exist, right? Just didn't exist.
I just think it would be good if people, and we're probably all guilty of not doing this all the time. I try hard, but people they should say what they want to say. Everybody has freedom of speech, but sometimes things need toned down. Like you had people saying, Trump hates Hispanics. He's exporting all of them. And then you had other people saying Biden hates America. He's letting people flood the border. Well, I don't think Trump hates Hispanics, and I don't think Biden hated America. They should have said Biden, was not enforcing the border against illegal immigration, and they could say Trump is aggressive, too aggressively deporting people. I mean, still say what you're going to say, but you don't have to say it. And then when people say Trump wants to be a king, well, he doesn't want to be a king. He wants to be a good president, but things like that are just, and then when they call, Kamala Harris is a communist. She wasn't a communist. She was a liberal Democrat. So people just need to, I think, tone it down a little bit. Make your point, but you don't have to say it in a way that's going to make somebody, turn it into physical violence.
Well, the other thing, and again, going back to social media, I think what happens is somebody has thoughts, and then they see somebody post something, and they go, boy, that's what I wanted to say. Boy, there is a group for me. And then they found their thing. And, so instead of just being liberal or conservative or Democrat or Republican, now you have so many of these offshoots of the parties that you're just kind of going, boy, I didn't know there are people like me, and maybe they're called this. Okay, now I'm associating myself with that.
Yeah, and I think particularly we talk very often about between the parties there being political violence and rhetoric, but even when you look at what happened to Governor Shapiro this year, it came from somebody that was to the left of him that thought that he was too pro-Israel. And you see all these factions in each party that are all biting each other's heads off.
Well, look at Fetterman. They're going.
Oh yeah, and
party's
absolutely
attacking him.
Yeah, and whether you agree with him or disagree with him, the fact that people want to remove him from the Democratic Party and say he's not one of us, I think speaks to the fact that we're very, very divided.
You're a young man. Do you see? It was mentioned earlier that's even in the State House, you've got more conservative. Leaning more conservative as time, so that great middle, that sort of yawn in the middle is a real thing, right? But even in the last several elections, I mean, you've got a Democratic socialist running for the mayor of New York. I mean, he's not, that's by definition.
Yeah, right.
And that would have been unthinkable even a decade ago for Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you see as a young Democrat that your party is sort of, it's evolved into that's more of a legitimate place to be on the socialist side of it, or is that just on the national level or in big urban areas?
Yeah, I think, and part of it goes back to the fact that, you know, even those of us that are younger Democrats don't necessarily like the establishment Democrats like Nancy Pelosi's and the Chuck Schumers, because they've been in for so long that they're not receptive to the needs of a new generation of new people. And whether you go for someone who's admittedly more moderate, right, like a Shapiro or a Fetterman, or whether you go swing further to the left, people are just discontented with the state of the party, and I think of politics in general.
Sure. Look at today. I mean, the announcement of the death of Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you look back at that time, I mean, I mean, Republicans were a certain brand then. I don't see that much anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's right. And there, you know, I hate to say it, but there's when I saw a little bit this morning, there were Republicans sort of celebrating it, which would have been, like you said, Luke, unthinkable. And I remember when Dick Cheney came to Allegheny College.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
Yeah, I was there.
I was there. Yeah, he and his wife. What year was that? That was some time ago. In the teens?
Oh, no, earlier than that.
Earlier than that.
Yeah, I think they were in office. It was, I think, re-election. I think they were making...
That's what it was, yeah. They made the tour through here.
Yeah.
That's right. And I remember the Allegheny College students on the other side of the street, which became sort of a famous thing, should we have these political figures on campus, right? But somebody threw a tomato at us, and we saw who it was, little inside baseball. We later hired him in the planning office as a data analyst. So, but I mean, you know, you had those things going on, but I mean...
He just couldn't bring a salad to work, but other than that, they let him through.
True story. But, you know, things are changing. They seem to be evolving, and I'm interested from a younger person's perspective. That's all I'm saying, because you represent the future of your party, and you've got, you know, the trappings of maybe bigger ambitions down the line. It's hard to say, right, where things will take you, but that'll be your sphere that you're playing in. You'll have to speak to whatever the party, you know what I mean? Like that's, or you change parties. Like Fetterman has blown a lot of people's minds, I think.
Yeah, and I think that there were so many people that hated him in 2022 that now support or love him today, and people that loved him back then and are very dissatisfied with him today. And I know that there's already so many talks about primarying him in 2028, and so we'll see, you know, who comes out of the woodwork for that in a couple of years.
Close.
Yeah.
I would imagine he'll be coming straight down the center of the road if he keeps, you know, wouldn't be a vote, you know. So we'll see what happens. But that's what I'm saying in terms of, you know, the both parties. And the Republicans, I agree 100%. I'll say since I don't know, Trump became ascendant, things have changed, for sure, right?
Right.
I mean, you know, look at the stage and the primaries in 2016. You know, it's changed. So what it's changing into, I guess we'll see. But it's not the same landscape that you and I grew up in.
I think too what we're seeing is. I think, generally speaking, there's exceptions, but generally speaking, a more liberal Democrat is going to win a primary, you know, between two Democrats. The more conservative Republican is going to win the primary between the two Republicans. So, like in the case of Fetterman, he'll probably lose to a very liberal Democrat, and you know, moderate. You know, Democrats may not be enough to save Fetterman. Now, on the Republican side, you know, when McCormick's up for re-election, about 5 years from now, there'll be somebody that tries to run against him from the right, saying McCormick's not conservative enough, and he might lose his primary. And I see that all the time in the state house. I mean, like very rarely do incumbents lose primary. I mean, I beat an incumbent when I first ran, but it's a very rare thing. In the entire Republican caucus in the state house right now, there's 101 of us. I think there's only 4 of us that beat a Republican in a primary to be there.
And I can remember the one issue that probably caused that.
Oh, yeah. But it's a rare thing. And over the years, I've only seen not even a dozen Republicans lose primaries the entire time I've been there, 19 years. And every single time, it was a moderate or liberal Republican lost in the primary to a conservative candidate running for the Republican nomination. And I haven't paid as much attention on the Democrat side, but it's probably something similar over there.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Brad. I mean, I think that, that sort of being outflanked by your party is driven, right? I mean, it seems like it would drive a further wedge between the parties.
Which is crazy, because look at all the people here in the middle going, well, right. I don't want all of that. I want maybe some of that, but I don't.
Where would you put Crawford County on the spectrum of conservative?
Oh, where Crawford County is more conservative,
right?
Than the rest of Pennsylvania. Our Republicans and our Democrats are more conservative than the statewide averages are.
Yeah. Great observation.
So if you're a Democrat running, I mean, you almost have to have a little conservative side to you, right?
But I think that's also inherent in growing up where you do.
Yeah.
And having grown up surrounded by people that did not think the exact same way I did about politics has certainly shaped how I view moderation in political issues and public
I tried
policies.
to beat it out of you, but it's just not working at all.
A federal judge in Rhode Island on Thursday ordered President Donald Trump's administration to fully fund food aid in November for 42 million low-income Americans by Friday. That blocks a plan to provide only reduced Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, benefits during the government shutdown. U.S. District Judge John McConnell accused the administration of withholding SNAP benefits for, quote, political reasons, and ordered the Department of Agriculture to provide 100% of their benefits. McConnell warned that reduced funding would lead to hunger and strain food pantries. The Trump administration moved quickly to appeal, creating uncertainty over full payments by Friday. A USDA spokesperson in a statement blamed Senate Democrats for voting against a Republican-backed stopgap funding measure to end the government shutdown, now in its 37th day. The administration had originally planned to entirely suspend SNAP benefits in November, citing a lack of authorized funding from Congress as a result of the shutdown. McConnell previously ruled the USDA must use $5.25 billion in emergency funds or tap additional funding to partially cover SNAP, which costs $8.5 to $9 billion per month. The USDA opted to use only contingency funding, leaving $4.65 billion for benefits after administrative costs and prompting states to urge recipients to budget and visit food pantries. At the Bergen County and Community Food Bank of New Jersey on Thursday, cars stretched around Overpeck County Park. Federal workers and SNAP recipients hit hard by the ongoing government shutdown waited to receive emergency food boxes. Among them was Janelle Daniels, a Bergen County resident who recently learned her SNAP benefits were being paused.
I actually was involved in a pedestrian hit and run of last year on Christmas Eve. I haven't worked since then, unfortunately. I am currently recovering from a knee arthroscopic surgery in July. I just got reapproved for SNAP and EBT to turn around and to find out they wouldn't release it for, the rest of the year. So it's kind of upsetting.
Bergen County Commissioner Tracy Zur said the shutdown's impact has been heartbreaking.
That's what keeps me up at night. That's what has been for the last 3 weeks, as this has been a political football, as we seem to be having inaction and this as targeting our most vulnerable. It's just devoid of humanity.
Zur told Reuters some 43,000 Bergen County residents rely on SNAP. Community Food Bank of New Jersey President Elizabeth McCarthy said the demand had spiked.
The problem is this is not going to be sustainable if this shutdown goes on for very long. I mean, everything that we're spending right now is sort of over and above what we had budgeted for the year. And so it's just really important that, we sort of figure out a way to get people the help they need.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch, pinch. Pinch time.
We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Don't call for pinches. Call for protection.
Hit it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea?
We're in Ohio.
So is that close, or?
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
Wall Street's main indexes tumbled on Thursday, with the Dow dropping more than 0.8%, the S&P 500 shedding over 1%, and the Nasdaq losing nearly 2%. A resumption of Tuesday's tech sell-off weighed on the Nasdaq as investors worried about inflated AI-related stock prices. Michael Landsberg, Chief Investment Officer at Landsberg Bennett Private Wealth Management, said that while tech earnings were mostly strong, forward guidance from some AI darlings may have underwhelmed investors.
I think a lot of the tech earnings, basically, everyone's expecting a beat and a raise. So what you're seeing is you see the beats, but if they're not aggressively raising, I think that's where some of the stocks are getting kind of beaten up because valuations are so, priced to perfection, if you will. So I think you're seeing that.
The Philadelphia SE Semiconductor Index dropped nearly 2.5%, with NVIDIA and Qualcomm losing more than 3.5% and AMD plunging over 7%. Among other movers, shares of DoorDash slumped 17.5% after the delivery firm reported third-quarter profit below Wall Street expectations on rising expenses. Shares of e.l.f. Beauty plummeted 35% after the cosmetics maker forecast annual sales and profit below expectations. On the flip side, shares of Snap jumped more than 9.5% after the social media firm beat third-quarter revenue estimates and announced a partnership with software company Perplexity AI.
Well, here's a real quick look at that forecast. Partly cloudy skies this morning, giving way to cloudy skies and rain this afternoon. Thunder possible, highs in the mid-50s. Rain showers this evening, overcast, and lows in the low 40s. Saturday, cloudy, upper 40s. Sunday, rain, mid-40s. Monday, snow showers. Temperatures in the low to mid-30s. And Tuesday for Veterans Day, morning snow showers. By the way, 1 to 3 inches possible Monday night into Tuesday. Highs on Tuesday in the mid-30s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 8:39. It's about 8:40 here this morning. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. The Broncos beat the Raiders last night in Thursday Night Football to kick off Week 10 of the NFL. And joining us here this morning, we've got Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson. Hi, Bruce. How are you?
Good morning, Luke.
Good to see you this morning.
3 inches on Tuesday. I've been thinking about, I've been starting to get my Christmas stuff out. So, it's that time of year.
It is. It's been early. I'll tell you what, even the days before Halloween, we stopped into a shop and Christmas music was playing. And
it's already here.
It's here, yeah.
3 weeks ago, Walmart had their Christmas stuff out. People were complaining about it. I said, what's they complain about?
Just enjoy it.
It's nice. Yeah, enjoy it. Don't complain about it. Anyway.
Hey, you know what else?
What?
I haven't heard anybody complain about Penn State. I think all the fans have just said, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Exactly. And Probrala, their backup who went to play, is now playing in Missouri and who's having a really good year. Boy, it'd be nice having him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the problem with the transfer portal now. If you got a good backup, he's going to leave and go play somewhere. And so you're going to have to depend on a backup like they have this year, somebody that's never played before, who is really going to have to play himself into competency. But
well, I'll tell you, I think the other thing colleges are probably scrambling to figure out is when there's a little wrinkle in the fabric, what do you do to prevent players from dropping out when they fire a coach or somebody leaves or a group of seniors are graduating and you're next up in that list and you're like, I don't know if I want to play here. What do you do to keep that talent so they're not going somewhere else?
It's a real balancing act. You almost have to make sure you keep the players happy. It's not like the old day where you do what I say or you sit on the bench. Now, if you do that and the player doesn't like it and he's a good player, he's gone. Now, they have changed so they can only transfer once a year, and that's in December after the season's over.
Yeah. So let me ask you, if you're a Penn State player and you're like, boy, I want to play for a good team and I don't know what's going on here, we don't even know who the coach is. I mean, does the college, the AD know, like, okay, we probably should have somebody announced prior to that?
Well, I think they want to announce the new coach right after the season's over. I don't think they want to break up the continuity of Terry Smith running the team now. I mean, you've already had two coaches, but I think they're lining up. I think like by the 15th of December, I think they want to have the new guy on board. And when it's the transfer, there's a transfer date there in December. There's one in December and then there's one in February. There's still 2 dates, but there's an early date and then there's the final date.
To some people, you could have said or argued that the season was over in September for them.
Yeah, well, I think. Well, and I mean, having the coach fired, losing their starting quarterback, and their best backup is now playing in Missouri. Yeah, I mean, they're going to lose against Indiana on Saturday, and then they play, I think it's Nebraska. No, UCLA. Now, who is it? It's Nebraska, Rutgers, and there's one other team that they play. I can't remember who it is, and those are all pretty good teams. I mean, Nebraska's Rules has a pretty good season with them, and I can't remember who the other one is, but oh well. Get the schedule up.
Michigan State.
That's the other one. Yeah,
that's coming up on the 15th.
It's Indiana, Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers. Yeah, that's the last 4 teams. And Michigan State's okay. Nebraska's pretty good. Rutgers at home can be tough, so no guarantees.
Yeah.
And with that young quarterback, I mean, they gave it a good shot against Ohio State, but they didn't have a chance. I mean, Ohio State probably the best football team in the country right now.
Close for a little while.
Yeah, I thought they played them well.
Took Ohio State a little bit to wake up, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
38-14 the final there.
So it wasn't bad. I mean, I was expecting like 58-10, nothing or something, but they made a game of it. They played hard.
You think Franklin's kind of relieved? Just knowing that it was going to be a challenge the rest of the season anyways, that he doesn't have to
I think
listen
he kind of knew his time there was over. He lost the fan base, and you can't be a coach somewhere and lose the fan base. So he'll go somewhere, be a hero.
Yeah.
They'll love him. Because he's a good promoter. I mean, he gives a good face.
Well, we'll have to talk about the quieting of the fan base when we talk about the Steelers win.
Hey, that was a victory.
Yes, it was.
That was quite a victory. I mean, they came out, and I guess Jalen Ramsey had a talk with the team Saturday night, and he basically said, "Hey guys, we're Steelers. We need to have swagger."
Do you well, it's also their Hall of Fame weekend, right? Where they had they're recognizing the Super Bowl team from 20 years back, and of course Indianapolis was a good story to tell. But do you think having the presence of some of those players there also helped kick them a little bit?
I think that talk by Ramsey had a really big effect. I mean, he's one of their best players, and he stood up in that room, and who knows what he said? It was a players-only meeting, and I don't think it was laying it on the line. He just said, "Hey guys, we're Steelers. We should play like Steelers." And there's a lot of talent on that team, and I think he got everybody thinking on the same page. And also, the coaches did something else for that game. They simplified the defense. Mm-hmm. Simplified the defense. Gave the players more responsibility. Get to the ball. And I think it showed. They were playing with a lot of energy. They played the best offense in the league, and they played pretty darn well against them. I mean, really. Was it forced 3 fumbles, 3 interceptions, and sacked Daniel Jones 5 times. Now, that's a pretty good day.
Good day at the office, yeah.
That's a pretty good day. So, I think Ramsey kind of was the guy they needed at the right time to say, "Hey guys, let's get going here. We can play better than this. It's up to us. It's not the coaches, it's us. We go on the field, we make the plays. Let's go do it." Maybe there's a coach. Maybe there's coaching in his future. Who knows? But another thing they did too is they've not had good free safety play all year because Mika Fitzpatrick's gone. So they put him at free safety. They said, "Okay, you're going to play Mika's spot," and they traded for a guy by the name of Duggar from New England. He came in, played strong safety. It was the best safety play they've had all year with those 2 players. So they made some adjustments. And Peyton Wilson, 14 tackles. So they got the players. They just have to start playing together. And I think that's the key to this defense down the road, playing together. Communication. It takes a lot of communication, make sure everybody's covered and that sort of thing. But maybe this is a turnaround for this defense who's had some real problems this year, especially stopping the run.
Well, and you've heard for weeks and weeks and weeks now, there's certainly talent on the team.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's there.
It's there. They're just not playing well, so. And a couple of players I wanted to talk about, Nick Herbig and Jack Sawyer. Wow, they have a couple linebackers. Sawyer's a rookie. Herbig came in, I think, 3 years ago. Those two guys have played really. In fact, the whole linebacking core, there's Highsmith, Herbig, Holcomb, Queen, Sawyer, Watt, Harrison, and Wilson. They got 8 really good linebackers. They should be able to plug the hole. So maybe this is a turnaround for them. They play, who do they play this week?
Well, they got Sunday night.
Yeah.
They
go to Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers.
Yeah. Good team. Now, the Chargers got issues, and I'll tell you what they are. Both of their offensive tackles are out. Both of their top 2 running backs are out. So they're playing mix and match up front, and that's going to play into the hands of the Steelers, who have a really good pass rush. Now, they got a good pass rush, too. So we're going to have to be on our toes. But they're really banged up, and they're playing with a third-string running back. So that should give us an advantage, I think. Yep. But you still got to go out there and play. And that's, I always say when you travel across the country, you get that time thing going. And, I don't know how quickly they went out there, but I think they
it's not Dublin, so.
Yeah, it's not Dublin. Although, didn't they go out there a few days ahead of time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were there a few days.
But still, that's an adjustment.
That's an adjustment. That's a big adjustment. But I think with the injuries that the Chargers have, now they have Herbert, great quarterback, who can run. And he has the best running, he's had the best running performance this year. So they're going to have to keep him in the pocket. But I think with the running backs out and with those tackles, they can put a lot of pressure on Herbert. Well, that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to keep him uncomfortable, as they say.
Yeah. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson with us here this morning.
Each week we're going to go over the power rankings of the NFL, and they change week to week. This week, number 1 are the Bills. Number 2, the Eagles. Number 3, the Colts, who they just beat. Number 4 is the Bucks. Number 5 is the Rams. Number 6, the Lions. Number 7 is the Broncos. Number 8 is the Patriots. Patriots, they're up there. Mm-hmm. Number 9, Seahawks. Number 10, Chiefs. Steelers are 12th. So a couple more good victories, they could probably be in that top 10.
Seahawks are scary.
They are. They're a good team. Colts have become a good team. Now, Pittsburgh kind of humbled them, but, Bills are still number 1. Eagles number 2. Bucks are number 4. I thought that's pretty high. That they got the old Cleveland quarterback down there.
Baker
Mayfield. And, of course, the Lions have been good for a while. Broncos won last night. That victory against the Patriots starting to look pretty good. Patriots are a pretty good team. That quarterback of theirs, I can't think of his name, but he is going to be a good one. So, anyway, sad story about the Dallas Cowboys defensive end, Marshawn Nealon, died, I guess, of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That's very sad when that happens. I don't know why. I was looking to see if there was a woman involved. I don't know. Nothing's been said, but it's just sad.
Yeah.
Somebody with that much talent made his way to the NFL, and life is so bad he has to do himself in. That's very, very sad. Very, very sad.
And then I mentioned to you Antonio Brown, that situation.
Yeah, they're looking for him.
Well, they got him. He's, let's see, has been captured, officials said Thursday, ending a more than 4-month search for the wide receiver.
Captured. I like that word. Captured. So he's been running from him.
Yeah.
Wow.
On an attempted murder charge.
Oh. That guy is really a man with that much talent. His life has really went off track. Bad seed, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Penguins. They scored 2 goals last night in the third period to defeat Washington 5-3. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10 games, and they're plus 11 in goals differential, and they're now tied with New Jersey for first place in the Metro with 20 points. Now, this is really interesting. I don't think anybody expected the Pens to be this good this year. I think everybody thought that this team was going to be, the bottom of a 12-team division, and they're playing like they're one of the best teams in the division. Well, they are. If you look at the
yeah, they're not playing like
they're playing well.
Yeah.
I mean Washington's a good team. They've been beating good teams. So I guess I gotta, I was real critical of them getting rid of Sullivan, but
well, it's still early.
It's true. It's true.
Because usually we're talking about the opposite, where a tough start, right? Mid-season, maybe they start playing, and then as long as they play well enough.
So will they hit a slump now? Well, and that's very possible. That's very possible.
But what are you seeing that you really like that is different?
They've got some good young players. That's what they've got. They've got some good young players. And good young players bring energy. And Muse has always been known for developing young players. So maybe that plays into the kind of team they got, because outside of their top 6, which are all veterans, the rest of the team is really young. A lot of young guys, and they did bring up a couple veterans, Graves and Heinen, who got cut out of camp and went and played down in Altoona, and not Altoona, but up in the Northeast, Wilkesboro. And they've come up and they've made a real impact. So they kind of went down, got their game back together, and they brought them back up, and they've really made an impact on the team. So that's good. So,
well, as you mentioned in the standings, Pittsburgh right behind New Jersey.
Right behind New Jersey.
Who do they have Saturday night? New Jersey.
New Jersey, that's right. So we'll see. Is it at home or away?
Away.
Okay. That's going to be tough. New Jersey's tough on the road. But I think their road record is just about as good as their home record. I mean, they've only got, 4 losses or 3 losses?
4. 2 ties?
Yeah, 2 ties. So
imagine if those went to the plus.
I think they were both shootouts, too. They were both shootouts. So if they win those shootouts, then it'd be 12. So, yeah.
Ahead of
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they got Crosby. If you got Crosby in your team, you got something going for you. And Malkin is playing better than he's played in a long time. I mean, he's going to be gone after this year, but his game the last couple of years has kind of been down a little bit. Not this year. I don't know. This coach has done something to this team. It just has. So
did he say he's retiring, or?
Well, they're not going to re-sign him.
What if he's having an outstanding year?
I don't know. Maybe they'd go year to year. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anything is in concrete.
Yeah.
If he wants to come back year to year. I think Crosby has 2 more years after this year. I think Letang has 3. The other one's Carlson. They brought him in 2 years ago, and he didn't play well last year. He's played much better this year. In fact, that's been one of on defense. This year he started to play some defense. So maybe this coach has made a difference with this team,
We'll see. Still early.
It's still early. All right. World Series. Wow. I thought Toronto was going to pull it out. In the 6th game, they had the bases loaded in the 9th inning. Nobody out. Oh. I think there was an incredible infield play, and then a guy catches the ball in the wall. I mean, he made an incredible catch. I thought they were going to win that game, but they didn't. I knew if they didn't win that 6th game, the Dodgers would come back and beat them in the 7th, and that's what they did. And that was a close game.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
That was a very close game.
And not quite a David versus Goliath situation.
No,
the Blue Jays,
Toronto's a pretty big. I looked at the market area. That's a big market area.
Yeah, and what they spend,
They don't spend Dodger money.
No, but they're not, and they spend more than Pirate money.
Yeah, they don't spend Pirate. Well, they got more money.
Yeah.
So I looked at the market size. That's a big market size. I didn't realize that metropolitan area was that big. They're not as big as L.A., but they're good size. I mean, they're much bigger than Pittsburgh or Cincinnati or any of those teams. But they're not a small market team, and they got some money, just not Dodger money. There's Dodger money, and there's Yankee money.
And then there's everybody else.
And then there's everybody else. That's right. I just watched a great movie, Moneyball.
Yeah.
Great movie. And he's talking in the movie, he's talking to his scouts. He's saying, there's the big teams, then there's the lower teams, and he says there's a whole bunch of crap, and then he says, then there's us. He says, we're at the bottom. He says, we have to be card counters. That's a great movie, by the way. And it's a true movie.
Yeah.
Well, so to speak. Yeah, sort
Some liberties in there.
Yeah,
Creative liberties.
well, always. Yeah, always. So I guess we better do picks.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes. You ready?
Ready.
Colts, Falcons.
Colts.
And that's a Sunday morning game. That's Germany, I think.
Oh, Germany.
Texans, Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Panthers, Saints.
Panthers.
Oh, here's a good one. Buccaneers, Patriots.
I've really waffled on this one. Buccaneers are favored. It's at the Bucs, but I'm going to go with the Patriots.
All right. You hear that, Adam? Patriots are picked.
I'm going to the Patriots.
Jets, Browns. Jets getting rid of whatever remaining talent they had.
Browns.
Okay. Vikings, Ravens.
Ravens.
Dolphins, Bills.
Bills.
Bears, Giants.
Bears.
Seahawks, Cardinals.
Seahawks.
Commanders, Lions.
Lions. Commanders have fallen apart.
Yeah. 49ers, Rams.
Rams.
Chargers, Steelers.
Steelers.
Monday Night Football, Packers, Eagles.
This is another tough one. Who's the home team?
Packers.
Eagles are favored. I'm going to go with the Packers.
Okay. Bruce, good to see you this morning.
Yeah, I went against the odds on two teams, so we'll see. Yeah, good seeing you. We'll be back when some snow's on the ground. Well, not really, but it's kind of neat. I kind of like this time of year. It's getting ready. Got Thanksgiving coming up, and then there's Christmas, and it's all good.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
It is.
I remember one guy. I watched a movie once, and they were talking about Christmas. The guy said, "The saddest time of the year for me is December 26th."
Yes.
And it is. It's kind of a sad time. You have this great big build up and all that, and then 26th it's over.